Hi guys, and welcome to a new reading vlog. It's finally the weekend, so I'm just so excited to just lay in bed and have a cozy day reading. So the first book that I'll be reading in this video, I've already actually read up to 100 pages. This is The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino. This is a new September release. It's a fantasy novel. So in this world, there are mages and hands who work together as a pair to create magic. The mages, they can perform magic, but they actually don't have magic inside of themselves, so they have to pull magic from a source. So this is where these hands come in. There are people who have wells of magic inside of them, so they supply magic to the mages. Our main character, her name is Gray. She is a hen, so she works closely with a mage. Her mage is also one of the captains in the army, and he is also her childhood friend. So they have a very close relationship. They're not just partners, they're also almost like family. The main character, Gray, she is also keeping a very big secret from everybody. So the first 100 pages is like part 1 of the story, and we're just like getting to know the characters and getting a bit of background on the situation that they're currently facing. I don't think it's a spoiler, is it? I'm not sure if it's a spoiler to mention, but just to give you a bit of background, the land is divided into several nations, and the nations are kind of currently at war with each other. So at the end of part 1, the higher-ups have given Gray's mage, his name is Kier, so the higher-ups have given Kier a mission, and it's a very dangerous mission that they have to go on, and there's a very high chance that they might not make it out alive. So my feelings so far, I'm not super invested in the story yet, but I am curious, definitely curious and intrigued to see where the story is gonna go. I'm guessing part 2 will definitely be getting into more action. Oh yeah, and there's a romance tag. So far part 1, we're not getting too much into the romance yet. So I'm also curious to see how the romance is gonna develop in this book. So I'm gonna read more today, and I'll let you guys know more of my thoughts once I'm further into the book. Hi guys, it's another Saturday morning. The last couple of days have been really rainy and gloomy, which set like the perfect atmosphere for reading The Second Death of Locke, which I have already finished. Sorry, I didn't do a check-in because I felt like I was on a roll with my reading and I didn't want to like stop to film an update and ruin like my momentum. So this book actually has a lot of gothic vibes, and as I mentioned, the rainy and gloomy atmosphere really fit well with this book. I know there is a fantasy romance tag for this book, but honestly, I just feel like it reads more like a high fantasy, but also has like gothic vibes and some romance in it. It really doesn't feel like your typical romantasy book. I previously mentioned that the characters were gonna go on a dangerous mission that eventually happens and more things happen, and I don't want to go into detail to not spoil the story because the back of the book doesn't really mention a lot of things on the plot, which is a good thing, so you can go in with like a fresh mind. But I would say the quote at the back here fits really well with what this book is about. It says here, love, loyalty, and sacrifice. There is found family in this, and the romance trope is childhood friends to lovers. I would say the romance is quite endearing and sweet at times, but at other times it also feels a bit painful. There's definitely a lot of trust and loyalty between the two main characters, and a lot of yearning as well. If I can compare this to other books, just like a general like vibe or feeling, nothing similar in terms of plot or writing style, I would say the vibes in this book is a bit similar to Rachel Gillick's Night and the Moth, and also a bit similar to Robin Hobb's The Far Seer trilogy. I've only read the first two books in that series, just that kind of gloomy and grim feeling you get when you read the book. I know that this book is gonna be like a series, but I do feel like this wraps up nicely, so I'm not sure where the story is gonna go in the second book. Overall, I would recommend this if you want a fantasy with gothic vibes, but with kind of like a darker, grim tone. Not dark fantasy, just that gloomy and kind of like bittersweet feeling you get when you read this. So the next book I'm gonna read is Reverence by Rebecca Ross. And I just looked at the hardcover. I didn't know they have art on it. Look at how pretty the artwork is, and the back is just the scenery. All I know about this book is that it's the kind of prequel to the author's YA duology. And I don't know what the plot is about. I just know there is a romance between an immortal god and a human. But I've heard so many good things about this book, so I am very excited to read this. So I'm gonna start reading and then I'll come back to let you guys know more on the plot summary and my initial feelings on this book. Hi guys, so it's the following weekend now, and I have made it to about page 250 in reverence. I read most of it last weekend, and then I didn't read at all during the week, so I'm so excited to dive back into this world. But first, let me give you guys a brief summary of what this book is about. So the setting in this book is that you have humans living like on Earth in the middle, and then you have like gods and goddesses also living in the world, but they live underground and in the sky. So those that live underground are called underlings, and those who live in the sky are called skyward. The book starts out with the female main character. Her name is Matilda. Matilda's mother gave birth to her in the underground. So Matilda is considered an underling since she is born underground, but there's definitely more mysteries and secrets surrounding her birth. And all the gods and goddesses, when they're born, they will have a specific gift or power. For example, god of war or goddess of peace, etc. So when Matilda is born, eventually when she grows up and manifests her powers, she will become a herald. which is basically a messenger. So she can travel between, the different realms, Earth, in the sky, underground, to carry messages for gods and goddesses and for people. So I don't want to spoil how it happens, but some things happen, and then Matilda and this young mortal boy, Vincent, they start to kind of form a connection and friendship. And this is all happening when they were young, so around like preteen age, like 12 years old. But then life happens and they kind of lost contact, and then now many years have passed and they're adults. They eventually meet again because Matilda has a message that she has to deliver to Vincent. And that's pretty much where I'm at the moment in this book. Them interacting now that they have met again and dealing with all the kinds of issues, whatever they're facing. I don't want to spoil, so I'm not gonna say anything about what's going on. I'm definitely enjoying the writing and storytelling in this book. It's definitely a different feeling from the author's Divine Rivals duology. This book is how I would imagine a Greek mythology fiction story to be written. And I say imagine because I have not read a Greek mythology fiction book yet. I do have Circe on my shelf, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Honestly, besides enjoying the book, I don't really have any other opinions. I think it's so much easier to discuss a book when you have more negative things to say. But so far, my feelings are positive. I'm enjoying it, and I cannot wait to spend this entire weekend reading this. I'm gonna try to finish this today or tomorrow and let you guys know my final thoughts on this book and wrap up this video. So I'm gonna go get cozy and start reading, and I will come back later to let you guys know my final thoughts. Hi guys, so it's now the afternoon, it's the same day, and I've spent all morning reading Reverence, and I have finished this book. It was so good. There's so many emotions running through my head right now. I mentioned earlier that I haven't picked up this book for like almost 1 week, and reading it again and entering this world again, I'm just reminded by how beautiful the writing and storytelling is. There is a part in this book where the author was kind of describing the atmosphere and kind of like the weather, and it just sounded so beautiful and perfect because we're now entering fall season. Let me read that part to you guys. It says here, autumn had coaxed her magic from even the most stubborn trees, turning them gold and crimson. Leaves spun in the breeze, and goldenrod grew in thick clumps along the wayside. We left the river behind, setting our eyes on the northern mountains before us, looming indigo against the sky. I savored it as a man who had gone days without eating. I drew the air deep into my lungs, holding the earth, the forest, the moss, the soil within me like it was sustenance. So rarely did I leave the fortress on the river. I could not resist the temptation to dismount from my horse and walk, if only to feel the loam beneath me, steady and firm. I could not resist bending down and taking the earth in my hand, watching it spill through my fingers. Reading that this morning, the writing just set the perfect atmosphere and vibes for autumn and fall. The story also picked up a lot. There were so many things happening. The pace was moving very fast, which really grabbed my attention, and I couldn't put the book down. I had to finish it. And also the romance is beautiful as well. There is so much yearning between Matilda and Vincent. There were also some painful moments and I wanted to scream. I was like, oh no, why is this happening? Also, the ending epilogue, we get a little bit of a tie-in to Divine Rivals. So overall, I really enjoyed this book and I highly recommend this. So I'm going to end this reading vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me reading 2 new fantasy releases that came out in September. And there will be more reading vlogs coming out soon. I'm excited for fall season because there's so many new releases and also old releases that give off fall autumn vibes that I'm very excited to read. Thank you so much again for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.